Okay, so it's a possibility, but not the only one.
Yes. There are also a few other rivers that you can see. You can see one on the local map that goes through. That's on the
Rawman?
east. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You would also be able to get away inland on that, and that would get quite cold.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
Alright,
sort of the three options.
so I'll just be like talking out loud. That's that sort of puts the pieces together.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh. What? So you think that's where they're going?
I mean, we have these pieces of the puzzle, and they fit the facts.
Okay.
But as to which one, to which possibility?
Well, we need a boat then, or a ship, or something. They've got 10 days on us if we're going to go after them.
And more concrete information to narrow it down.
Well, go back and speak to the old boy, or maybe stay in this part of town, I suppose, and have a wander around. I don't know if there's a more shady tavern or something like that than the main one. Maybe we can get some information that way.
Perhaps Virok and Focus have uncovered something on the other docks.
I was gonna say it's now time.
Good segue right there.
I'm
And
in
I'm
the
like-
middle of the parable of the villagers who didn't
And I-
tell their priest everything about golems going in many boats, and the horrible burning in
specific.
hell.
Well,
that
Like
they,
on the
suffered.
way, I see like on the way into the temple. I was like, weren't we going to the docks? I don't. And I just sort of like follow you back into the temple. trying to do a sermon. I'm like, right.
Oh no,
Oh.
Virok's gonna get married.
Oh no.
Um.
Well,
Sorry, carry on. Give you the full description of what's going on if you wish to add anything.
Well, there's the congregants are there, and he shows his authority as a much higher cleric. So the attending cleric just clears off.
Yeah, you hijack the existing sermon
Yeah,
with flair.
they were talking about the funds to
A couple
repair
of
the
people,
roof.
a couple of people in the crowd are going, oh crap, it's this guy again.
Quick, act married.
So don't make me break out my whatever you call it,
Marrying stick.
marriage certificate. Yeah, he tells a very specific parable about the man who didn't tell his priest everything about golems being loaded at ships, and how
And there's Crumber just sort of like staring up, staring at the crowd, staring back at you.
Faultless eventually melted their skin off, even though they thought that they had got away with not telling the priest everything. In fact, they hadn't. And then he says confessions will be starting immediately.
And so you must listen to a string of confessions.
Yep.
You know, there's various inane confessions.
Yeah, you're forgiven. More to the point of what I was saying.
So yeah, you kind of rush through it. Yeah.
10 Hail Marys, 10
I'll tell
Hail
you what.
Marys. 10 Hail Marys.
Give me a performance or persuasion for the actual sermon itself.
Oh no, dice rolls.
We love dice rolls here.
Do you
Yes.
still have?
All right.
Suck it, anyone who doesn't believe.
So there is a confession among the many that you are dismissing that causes your ears to perk up, and a woman comes to you and says, "I have a confession. I think can I confess on behalf of someone?"
You can confess anything, and in fact, I encourage confessions on behalf of other people.
Well, I'm worried for my wife. She was never very, devout, and I know that to go against the divinely chosen authorities is also to go against God. So she took a position in the crew of an unlicensed ship, and I'm so worried for her. I've heard of horrible things happening, and I'm worried that there'll be an accident while she's at sea, and it'll be all because she because Photos doesn't approve.
Well, going at the water is the opposite of fire, as we all know. So I'll keep telling me the story. I'll tell you how to address it.
Well, I fear she's, she's never. I've always been the more religious. She's never been too worried, but I worry about her being so far from Photis's light because she's at sea, and she packed all her cold weather clothes. So I'm afraid that she's somewhere cold and far away from his warmth.
Say where she was headed, or we all must stay in the light of the god to maintain our souls.
They headed. I think she didn't say where she was going to. I don't think they were supposed to know. I think the journey was supposed to take maybe. She said maybe a month, but you never know with these things because it just takes a storm and then they're stuck in a different port. I think she went. She didn't say where, but somewhere east.
East. Did she give the name of the ship that we may pray to the god to deliver his blessings upon it?
No, I didn't. I went to wave her off, and the ship didn't have a name.
Dun, dun, dun.
Such is the, as one of our prophets often said, you must describe in detail the ship, preferably with a diagram.
Oh,
As per Nathaniel 21:17,
Yeah.
and he did say in depth that the ship was of continue, my dear.
That's very true. Interestingly, describing and writing and drawing the ship in detail will also absolve you of any sin.
Well, will it help my wife?
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Well, if it'll help her, I'm so worried. Do you think this will be enough?
How much gold you got?
She does comply.
No.
She starts kind of
No.
just drawing the
No,
ship.
no.
Oh.
I was like, I'm joking. I don't know about the gold.
I'll say in an earlier time that might not have been sufficient. However, I believe our God. will-
Reckoning.
Yeah, he'll look out for your wife based on your act of faith.
Oh, that's such a relief. I've been so worried. Yeah, I can. I'm not an artist. And she has a go at drawing.
Is it exactly the same as the boat on the map by any chance?
Not quite. She's trying. She tries really hard, but she has no artistic talent, and it's kind of hard to precisely remember details. She gives it's an impression of the ship.
As the book of Judgment says, let he who renders the best image of what is requested be the first to enter into the promised land.
Right. Okay. And she kind of adds.
That is in there. It's honest.
I fully believe that when the religious texts were modified to suit the current authority, that passages such as that were included.
I can pick and choose. I'm high up in this. So
Yeah. You wrote the book.
I'm
Well,
still writing it now.
So yeah, she's like, oh, okay. She adds more to the picture, but it's kind of like extraneous details. Like she's not really helping the impression. She is possibly making stuff up to fill in gaps where she couldn't remember.
So I asked, do you know any of her crewmates that we may also include their names when we're invoking the god?
Yes, there was. Hold on, I need to get names. OC.
Lucky Oswin.
Lucky Oswin was supposed to be on the ship.
Whoopsie.
We'll go for. I will just paste them. Helena, and that's her wife. And sorry. Yeah, these are the names of 3 of the people that she knows that were on the ship.
Do I think there's anything she's holding? Well, can I roll a thing? To see if there's
Yeah,
anything
that
she's
would
holding
be
back?
insight.
Insight.
There is a little something that she's still holding back.
A little. I stress that.
The truth shall set you free.
Yeah, the whole thing about Photis knowing exactly what has been held back and what hasn't, and the fate of loved ones can depend on the god's opinion of his followers.
Oh, well, I mean, I suppose there's no facts that it's just opinions, but I know that
Well, as the Book of Divinity says, let speculation be your shield.
These are so good. I want someone in the comments to collect these for us.
Create the book of
I
photos.
want to make the Book of Focus.
Book of photos.
Yes.
If anyone's played the game Mechanicus, you
Wait
might see
a
some sort of that
second.
at least.
Amazing.
Well, the thing is, I know that all captains of ships have to be licensed, so they're chosen by the authorities. So therefore, all of that divine right to rule comes from Photis. So I don't want to question a captain, but maybe he looked. He made
Did
me
not
feel.
Photis himself say, "Let your priests be captain of your faith"?
Are you quoting lyrics now?
Well, he just
Success.
had the most. Oh, he's gone.
Photos calling.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do apologise. I'm just on a conference call with our god.
I imagine
said-
him like standing there
he
with like
said,
a finger in his ear
Tell
going,
this
yeah,
guy the truth, bitch. Otherwise, there's going to be bother.
yeah, I'm just speaking to photos right now.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Tell me
Hold on.
more.
Yeah, go on.
He
hell?
had the most cold and terrifying eyes. Eyes. They tell you a lot about a person.
Name.
Your eyes shine with divine inspiration, and his eyes are calculating. Looking at Varrock.
I was, what?
Did you?
And I'm like
I'm waiting for
looking
Vero.
scary. Like, sort of looking at her, doing this like that sort of like calculation, going, "What do you mean?"
Well, it speaks to a person, doesn't it? And I don't know if it was intuition or what, but I just didn't trust that he was going to bring her back.
Well, I've realised this. She's told us everything realistically. I perform a small blessing, which I don't know, heals a gamma foot or something.
This foot's been bothering me for 20 years. Ever since I twisted it. It never sat right. Thank you.
I've blessed your foot so you may step foot into the promised land.
Thank you.
Virak just sort of like puts his hand in his head in his hand, and just sort of like rubs his temples, and gets back to normal. It's like,
He can't believe the miracle he's just seen.
I just come
Yeah,
out of the
that's
come out of the
exactly what it is.
come out the confessional box, do a thumbs up to the priest who was already running the thing, and just walk out the door.
There's a queue of people who were still waiting to confess.
So it's over to you.
He doesn't look pleased that you've signed him up for a late shift tonight.
but at the same time, seeing Focus leave, the queue sort of like has that. It's not worth it now, is it?
Well, the thing is that
the,
like this priest actually lives locally.
Oh, it's getting late. This one can wait. I'll do it tomorrow.
So he'll be happy to stay to hear all of your confessions. I have to go now. And I make my way back to. Have we agreed we're going to meet back up the dock? So he's now just lost.
Well, they thought you were going to the docks.
All right. Well, we'll head back to the docks where we should have been.
Okay. You can
that-
all meet up there if you wish.
Virak wants to commit himself to some more religion.
No,
Do you wanna
no, I've
change
had my
it?
fill of religion for today.
You want to for anything faith related while you're there, Virok? Get a
No, I'm
blessing.
good, thanks. I'm alright.
Pledge
Christening,
yourself. Switch to a
confessional.
paladin.
No, no. I imagine Virok during that entire time sort of switched off and was like trying to make sense of like different schematics in his head. And he's just like, well, yeah, but that connected to that could work. And then this, and then just that the entire time, and then
Or
And then-
alternatively, you just sat there going, I made the fucker a loot.
Well, this is it. This is it's like he's always played the lute. I don't understand. He's always. How can he not?
I'm sure I
I'm
saw him playing the
I've
lute.
seen him play the lute.
Did he just forget?
I just
Was that one of the many body doubles?
no. No, it's definitely him. He wouldn't use a body double on us. That son of a bitch.
Okay, so yes, you can all meet up at the docks if you wish, because I know Jay and Tobias were kind of heading back towards town. And I assume, yes, you know, they're having a leisurely walk and discussing their options, but also the whole confession thing took quite a while, and sermon took a little longer than grilling the old man. So, yes. Tobias and Jay arrive first, and then Focus and Virok.
Say, so, did you find anything? With a smug look on my face.
Yeah, we've heard about a ship with no name, which has a captain with evil eyes, or very weird eye. It was difficult how the guy described it. Left about 10 days ago, possibly going somewhere cold, but couldn't get any more than that. And Tobias was basically busy dodging fish, so he was about as much use as an arse.
So there's no change there then.
No.
Well, I've also found out similar information. It's a ship headed somewhere cold, heading east, about a month's journey, roughly. And I've got names of Eltar, Rolnik, and Alena as crew members.
Ah, interesting.
And
What
my
were
story
they?
also spoke about a guy with unusual eyes.
Ah. So we need Tobias, maybe, or I don't know. We need to try and figure out where it's gone. Tobias has got an idea.
What's
Do
a
you wanna-
month east of here?
Do you want to tell them,
Well-
Tobias?
Is it a month there, or is it 2 weeks there and 2 weeks back that they're preparing for? Were they returning?
Extrapolate the data from both.
Enhance. Can can I do that?
Okay, you can.
I just now get an image of Tobias pulls out a map that he just happened to have somewhere, and he just stands looking at it, going, "Enhance,
Enhance.
enhance."
It's a magic map, obviously.
Don't make me pistol whip you.
Now, with anyone who's watching this and wants to check stuff, please forgive me because, you know, I haven't precisely calculated this. But it depends on a few things. It depends how closely you follow the coast. If you're going a long way, then you can kind of smooth out bumps, basically, that you would get from following the coastline. And it depends if they intend to stop for supplies. But heading east for that long would take you basically all the way round to the south of the continent. If you had 2 weeks on a fast ship, would take you to the south, the underside of the continent.
Hmm.
Okay.
Is that cold?
Yes.
Yeah. What would be the last sort of port before there?
The last spot, let me open up my detailed version of the map. I meant to open that up earlier.
Secret maps.
It's the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
map that I've pulled these maps from, but there's like a whole thing for it. Hold on.
Hmm.
Let me open my map. Yeah. Hold on. Bear with.
Mm-hmm.
Do 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 do. Wait, no, we can't do that.
Wait, what? Yeah.
It's alright, I think the rendition was sufficiently poor to get past them.
Oh,
One of them was.
sometimes
Let's
Damn it.
leave it up to the comments to decide which one.
you just cut me deep.
Okay. What I'll do
Look,
actually is
you're
I'll
the
just
bard, you're supposed to sing. You're quite good at it.
That's true.
I'll show you the map. Hold on. I can
Get to see the map.
New map.
share my screen.
Oh.
Wait, what?
In the discords.
In the discords.
Loading.
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 Stop downloading all that pornography. No, that went off.
Is it visible?
Nope.
It's loading for me.
Still
Okay.
loading.
Can't believe I managed to live stream with my internet, honestly. It's just pure force of will.
It's impressive at times.
You
Uh,
will work.
Well, if you can't see it, the last your characters probably don't have detailed knowledge
Oh,
of that
there it
part of
is.
the world, but the last major port is Karzanzar
Karzanzar.
here. And yeah, there's a few little places beyond that, but that's the last major port.
It says like the height and what type of biome it is. and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
Cool.
Good map.
it's very cool. There's all sorts of they've added armies.
Oh.
Arrows.
Oh,
Arrow
no.
people.
They've added armies and army composition because I put like the whole population in. That's not right. It's scaled up
Ah.
weirdly, but the places have populations, and because I channeled all the population into the capital, it's got like an insane army, and then there's
Yeah, it does.
nothing
Appropriate
else.
though.
That's
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah.
All these little places.
So just for the viewers, it's really crap. You don't need to see this map. It's not interesting in the slightest.
They can see it.
Screw you guys.
I mean, she's literally she's recording everything she sees.
Recording my screen.
Hmm. What are those hashes there? What's that bit?
Hashes are drought, apparently.
Oh.
Oh no.
This is an eruption. There's a volcano here.
What?
This is
Is it
smallpox.
Like, wait. Oh.
Oh, good. I'm glad we're going east.
There's
Uh-huh.
also this is just it's very cool. Let's see. Options, tools. Yeah, you can see all sorts of things. There's states, provinces. There's different cultures.
That's cool.
Which are hunting, highland, river. So I did set these, I think, to be
Yeah.
what I wanted them to be. So these ones down here are a highland and
Mm-hmm.
You might have
Nomadic.
to link where you got this from.
yeah, I
The
will.
fantasy map.
Yeah.
Doodiggy.
Yeah, it's really good. The rivers all have names and lengths and basin names.
What?
There's a lot, and you can edit it all.
See, this
can
is like
manually
this
add
is
stuff.
like behind the curtain.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there you go. It's very cool. Religions, obviously, we're ignoring this because this isn't the religions.
What?
Oh no! Focus.
I didn't set everything.
Needs to be a new round of burnings for that.
So many of them.
So yeah, that's the map. Anyway, let's go back to here. So yeah, the last major city this way is Kazinzar. Well, it's a town.
And how much further would a month's travel approximately? Is it significantly further than that, or is it a little bit further than that?
So it's about. Do I have a way of measuring distances on here? Okay, this much is 200 miles. Hold on. So if that's 200 miles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'd take probably 2 weeks would get you about here into this sort of area. I believe, now I might be wildly guessing, I believe ships can, like sailing ships can do about 100 miles a day. So that's a bit of a guess.
Go on, Gavin.
But
Seems
so
reasonable.
they can go to here. So yeah, a month would take you to kind of somewhere around here.
Ew. So significantly beyond civilization.
Yeah.
Yes, if you went for a month straight.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Is that more smallpox on the ice island below us?
No, that's a
How?
fault.
That's
Oh,
penguin pox.
I see. I meant that bit down there, on the right, bottom right, bottom
Oh,
right.
there. Tsunami, apparently.
Oh, good.
Frozen tsunami.
Great.
Ships love tsunamis.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if they're planning to travel for a month, if we had a faster ship, potentially we could overhaul them.
Yeah.
Especially since it's a larger transport to transport golems.
Mm-hmm.
We may be able to overhaul them, especially if they're going to be intending to travel for a month. If it is a return trip of 2 weeks and back, we might catch them on the way back. There's possibilities of heading east, as long as we had a fast enough ship.
Is there not magic transportation or anything like that you can do?
No.
There's.
Well, not me.
Oh,
Of
sorry. I
airship.
didn't know if that was icy. OC, there's not a lot. There's less transportation than there used to be, honestly. Given that things are sort of funneled to the capital, the interest is, most of you are involved enough to be aware that the general interest from the government is to sort of suppress all these other areas. They're basically only worried about the capital, so they kind of don't encourage infrastructure, most transport, like ship technology hasn't advanced since they came into power at all, and not many people are allowed to use ships. So that's all gone backwards. So yeah, there's not a tremendous amount of ways of getting around for most people.
Right.
You know, there's not like networks of teleportation hubs or anything.
Our only reasonable chance would be by boat then.
Yeah. We need a fast ship.
No imperial entanglements.
It's interesting that I decided to go with Forest and Horde. Okay. So are we gonna hang on?
Yeah, turn off the thing. There we go.
Did you leave the chat there, Vince?
Yeah.
Turned off the whole movie.
Is it a case then, asking the group, that we go to the official docks, try and find a proper boat, or do we go to the unofficial docks, trying to find one that may take a riskier route?
Well, we can go to the official docks and find out a bit more information about the captains. Because
You've already been to the docks.
No, you got there before us.
I know, but it's big docks.
Yeah, well, we were still busy with that sermon.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is find out a bit more about the captains, because like that lady said, everything's has to be officially put through the port authority and the actual captain's guild or whatever it was.
I mean, there's the dodgy port, which, you know, there. Do I remember there being any ships in the dock, Civ, or?
At the time you were there, it was just little fishing vessels.
Okay, so there wasn't any big ships in. It doesn't mean there might be some in tomorrow, but it doesn't appear to be set up in a way that it's like, hello, good sir, can I request a boat?
Well, this is the other thing as well, is if we're trying to keep a low profile as well, that might be a better option.
It might. I don't know how long we'll wait for a ship. It's what I'm saying, because it doesn't look like you can request them. It's more a case of
when they turn up.
If a ship turns up and you go and hire it.
Also, well, we don't have any money.
Yes. Unless you want to sell the loot.
I mean, it would save me having.
You're not selling the loot.
That was a test. You failed.
Okay, so I guess you would know that yes, there are official and non-official ship transportation options. The official ones are all quite regulated. You would like, if you revealed who you were, you would get an official ship and it would do whatever you said. But obviously there would be a record of that. If you just wanted to pay for passage, they're not very into that for regular citizens, so you'd need to at least pretend to be of some importance. And like have a reason and, you know, come up with a compelling thing for them. Smuggling wise, you would probably need money.
Yeah.
The Cedric Three-Toe option, it's reasonable to assume that you would need money to buy your passage.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, Jay does know that apparently Cedric Three-Toe will take on people to work, but some of you may be more convincing than others at being sailors.
Yeah. I mean,
And
Yeah.
in general, there's a lot to know.
yeah, Viric's not a water person.
Tobias is scared of fish.
Or the insides of them.
It's when the insides become the outside that it's not great.
So I'll tell you what, on that conundrum, I think that's where we'll leave the session, because I want to go to bed soon.
That is fair.
So thank you for watching, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.